I'm Philip. I run a hospitality consultancy called Cube, and we specialize in commercial strategy optimization using technology, of course, but also process optimization and, of course, advising on the right skill set that's needed in the industry today. Okay, so we want to talk a little bit about inside out versus outside in, which is something that I think, it's very close to my heart, by the way, because I feel in our industry there's still a lot of inside out. And inside out is important, meaning we need to communicate to the outside world. But I also think it's important that we take a bit more of an outside perspective inside so that we have more relevancy when you communicate to the outside, right? So, so like these little pigeons here, right? They sit together in their little group, and they may not even wonder what's happening around them, right? But if you do that, then you sometimes may miss the big picture. And it's good for short-term gains, but from a long-term strategic approach, you really need to go outside of your comfort zone sometimes as well, right? So the outside perspective, it's a strategy that can help uncover and identify new opportunities. That's why it's really important. And it helps you seek and address new ideas, right? Something new, something fresh that you want to bring into your organization. So what's inside-out marketing? And that's a terminology that exists, and it works for a lot of organizations. It means that we're really focusing on what are we really good at? What are we proud of? Sounds familiar? And then we throw it out to the world and just try to really nurture that perception of who we are, what we do, and tell people about that. And it works in particular in retail very often for a while. But so here is a quote from Seth Godin. I don't know if you know him. He's a really pretty famous marketer. I really like to quote him. Inside-out marketing assumes that what you make is good enough or important enough to sell itself. It focuses on the products or services the organization wants to sell rather than the needs or desires of the customer. When I read this, I sometimes hear, when I go back to my hotel times, chef talking to me. Let's bake a cake and sell it. People will love it. Really? So, inside-out limitations. According to Hank Barnes, most decision makers focus on very specific details of their product. Again, sounds familiar? Our industry is famous for this, I think. But as a result, they believe that their products are special. Have you heard that before? We're very unique. We're in a very unique market. We're very special. Is that me or? Oh, okay. And that's what we know as confirmation bias. It means we're biased, right? Because we're very proud of our hotel, of our product. And which is a great thing. But does it really do the job of optimizing what you want to sell? So it really limits you to think outside of the box sometimes and think, what does the customer actually really want? So on the other side of the spectrum, outside in marketing means that you really look at the perspective from a customer, from a guest perspective, right? So the customer is the focus, the customer is the asset. So we really look at, and you touched on this in your session before as well, we really look at what does the customer actually want? And then the storytelling begins, and we wrap the product around it, and then we throw it back out again. So outside in thinking is really involves customer-centric approaches. It advances communication. It builds much closer relationship with your customer as well, or with the guest. And and really data and insights is extremely important here, right? Without understanding, not just, and this is beyond transactional information. Like a revenue management tool gives you a lot of transactional information, but not necessarily the guest insights that you want, the behavioral stuff that's in your reviews, for example, that's in your CRM systems, in your TMS CRMs, and what have you. So in companies that embrace this, make data-driven decisions, learn from external insights, and seek new ways to solve problems. So away from the traditional stuff, right? It's really change of mindset. And it really allows you to see things from a different perspective / the guest perspective. And that's what you want. So it's really a catalyst of transformation. You want to do things different, not the same old way again. Now, we want to go back to technology, right? But just quickly. So in summary, it changes your perspective, collect data and act on it, really use it, not just for proof of concept, to really drive new things and new ideas. It helps to maintain a constant and fresh dialogue with your guests. And, competition, it's always an interesting one, right? Very often competition is done in chain hotels in particular, corporate offices, that's your competition. And we look at it from an SDR perspective, from a RevPAR index perspective. But competition should really be looked at from a guest perspective because they don't care about your SDR data, right? They care about where do I want to go? Who's talking to me when I'm in that research phase? I can't remember what you guys called it. The very first. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know if you've been here yesterday, but if we think Lucy, she has this, dream and then post-stay, but the guest journey really looks like this, right? There's a lot of steps that our guests actually have to go through, irrespective where they book and how they book, but that's just how they do. They look, they research. In most cases, Google is the first step. It still is. Changing rapidly, though, right, with AI-driven and long language search, of course. So this is where content is extremely important. And content cannot be static any longer, right? It has to be really set up moving forward, so it's AI readable as well. Third-party distribution, meta search, brand websites. So, guests typically look at several channels, right? And they compare, and they look, and they shop, and what have you, right? Then finally, they book. So pricing strategy becomes important. Retargeting, they leave the site. You want them to come back. Then pre-stay communication, often forgotten or not done with enough relevancy. One pre-stay communication to all guests, the same. So what can we do here? And then, very important, during stay, sometimes there's a lot of communication, direct communication. Front office talks to people, restaurant service talk to people, but isn't there more stuff that we can do to really keep guests engaged and talk with us? Maybe in a digital way as well. And then post-stay, I think is super critical and very often forgotten. And it's a massive opportunity not only to drive loyalty or guest preference, as I like to call it, but also to drive instant revenue again. You can sell things to people after they stay, not just a hotel room or a stay you can cross-sell. You can sell them a Christmas hamper afterwards, right? What have you. It's just be creative. And then, once we understand this customer journey, we need to get the marketing funnel activated. And we simplify this a bit. We call it find, book, stay, and grow. So find is really the awareness, the interest, the content that you have there. So being searchable so that you are found. Book is consideration and purchase, right? How do I really turn this into action? Now, conversion, right? This is where the conversion happens. But it starts here, right? The fewer people you have at that funnel entry that actually go into it, it automatically, even though your conversion rate may be high, it's fewer people that you converted. That's simple math. I don't need AI for that, by the way. And then so on. And then during the stay, the experience delivery, right? Making people happy. But you can sell things to people while they're staying with you. And by the way, don't wait until they stay with you. Very often hotels think, I do that when they check in. Well, too late. You can sell stuff when they're in this book phase, in this purchasing phase. You actually want, in this find phase already, to have people. We talked a little about guest personas earlier this morning, right? Find those personas that have a higher spend in mind already. And then it's not a hard sell for you any longer. It's because you're offering something to them that's relevant and that they like to purchase. I mean, we're all consumers. We know how that works in retail in particular, right? Or in other sectors. Yeah, and then grow. So that's really retention. So it drives me personally nuts sometimes when I go into hotels and they have these amazing reputation management tools, like a Review Pro, and they're great tools. That's not what I'm saying. But I think they're totally underutilized. They're used to satisfy a general manager's KPI. Guest happy, not happy. Guest happier than at the competition, great. Guest not so happy as at the competition, not good. Do something about it. What about this wealth of information that these guests leave behind? They make an effort and they tell you exactly what they like and what they don't like. Why don't we pick that up and pump that back into the marketing funnel to drive relevant communication with our guests? I don't get it. We sit on this information and we don't use it, at least not to the degree as we could and should. All right, so the marketing funnel is a conceptual model that illustrates the customer journey, but really what the hotel has to do now, right? That's the action. How do we turn this into action? And again, we divided at least into these 4 stages: find, book, stay, and grow. And each level has a different degree of engagement that it represents. There's actually a statistic from HubSpot that says that personalized calls to action perform 202% better than if you don't do this. I mean, we still see, we are to a large degree in a world where we just throw everything out at everybody. It's like spaghetti on the wall. Hopefully something sticks. So this is where you can do better, by just creating this additional relevancy in your communication. So in this guest journey, find, book, stay, grow, if we divide it like that, we have different types of technologies, right? So we wanted to do a group exercise with about 40 people. So I don't know, how do we do that now? We can still do that, right?
Smaller and smarter.
Okay, so why don't we do...
I think we could do this corner and then this corner.
Yeah. Why don't do this corner does find and book, and this corner does stay and grow. And the question is, sorry, didn't give you the exercise yet, what supportive tech is available to support these phases? Puneet, what tech is available? It's not, and it's not a sales pitch. All right, can we do that? I find it overwhelming, the amount of tech that's available. No, just stick your hats together for a couple of minutes and then. So, is this working? Yeah, this is working. All right, why don't we start with you guys? Who wants to talk? What's your name, sorry? Anastasia? No? Crystal?
Okay, sure. I can just, and you guys can chime in. All right. Okay. Okay, so we have on the find journey, so basically the hotel needs to be searchable, right? When the guest starts searching for them through the inspiration stage, you need to appear on your social media channel, your OTAs, your picture need to be present, all of your keywords, SEO, SEMs need to be there. So content management solution just to distribute all of your pictures to the OTA. So that is just the fundamental basics, right, for the find technology. And then when the guests actually come, and also the brand.com as well. So when the guests arrived at the brand.com or on OTA channel, make it easier for them to book. So we have the booking engines, we have the chatbot.
That's in book already.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So then we have chatbot, because some hotels doing really well with using chatbot to encourage direct booking, and then online payments, because that's where all the e-commerce happens.
Do you have any idea how many of these solutions that can support what you're trying to do are out there, roughly?
That is an ideal word, right? It should be, but I think
How many solution providers, roughly? How many tools?
well, from here I can see at least 10 already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably way more than that.
Correct, and this is just very in the top
This is
level.
where it's complicated.
It is.
Independent hotels.
Yeah,
How do I find what's good for me? Right?
exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so now we got people to book. Now, who wants to talk?
Okay, we have stay, all the tech that are under stay, correct? Okay, let's go.
No, we've written a lot. Whatever. Well, I'm sure you have.
We have PMS, CRM, pre-arrival, check-in kiosk, in-room tech, mobile and digital key, your MICE system, CNE system, digital signage, concierge system, and iConcierge system, room service, ordering, POS, robots, upselling, and photo booth.
Perfect chat, too.
Oh, yeah. Amazing. And again, the question is, this is just the actual solutions, but how many vendors are out there that say, I have a solution for this, right?
Too many.
Could be too many, but the reality is it's a hell of a lot, and that makes it so complicated sometimes. And how do they fit together, right?
They don't.
Okay. All right. Good. Great. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And now grow.
Okay. We've got reputation management, OT reviews, BI, RMS, loyalty, which is also part of the CRM, EDM. We have PABX. Oh, that actually should have been under stay. We have sales CRM. We have website, blog engagement, newsletters, retargeting, etc., etc.
Okay, great. RMS. Why did you put RMS in Grow?
It was from the analytics, analytics, BI, RMS, so the analytical part of the post-stay, how you're basically understanding your business.
Okay, but my question. All right, great, thank you. It's fabulous. So, but my question is RMS only in Grow, therefore?
No, I mean, RMS is also part of the book, and probably part of, certainly part of the book, maybe part of the find, but I would say book and grow, mainly.
Talking about the funnel, there are technologies that touch every part of it. There are technologies that play a certain role at certain sphere of the
Exactly.
funnel, right? And there may be some that touch only 2 or 3 customer touch points during, either while they're exploring or they're dreaming and they are.
Exactly. And this is what we need to acknowledge as well. There's a lot of tech that's actually in every part of the funnel. And also my observation, this is very often where I see the focus, which makes sense. It has to be the focus, right? Because it optimizes everything. But it cannot stop there. What are the additional tech solutions that I can insert to optimize each stage? And building on top of those, like in RMS, it's pretty much throughout, right? But what else do I need? Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. Now, where is that thing? It's here. All right, now, and again, this is just a couple of examples, right? I'm not going to go through this now, right? This is just this whole list that I showed yesterday, and again, it's really only a fraction of what's out there, right? That's how difficult this is, and don't forget, it all costs money, right? And this is very often where it's a showstopper, because we can't sell it to the owner, we can't sell it internally, we can't put a proper ROI together. And this is where what I'm really trying to say here as well is that's why we have to go much deeper in understanding what this tool actually does, what value does it drive, from a guest perspective, number one, because we're talking commercial, not necessarily operational tools, right? But also, what does the tool do? Does it help me do my job easier so I have more time for others? That's important, but also what does it do to enhance that guest experience that should drive profit, right? Okay, now, the next exercise, we want to go a little bit deeper now. Just pick one. Just stay in these groups, right? Yep. And just pick one from each phase and go a bit deeper and explain what does it actually do? Why do I need it? Can we do that? So you do, oh no, let's switch. How is that?
Find, book, stay, grow, right? We do.
What do you prefer? You want to switch or you want to stay?
I'm hearing the stay on this side, so why don't we stay? We'll go
Stay.
with the ladies.
So
we'll defer to the
you
ladies.
continue with find and book, and you do stay and grow. All right? So just pick for each one solution. All right,
Yep.
thanks.
Okay.
That's what you want it to be up right now, right? No.
So CRM
You
under
wanted to
growth
have that up
here,
there, right?
right?
Yeah.
And what do we?
Yeah.
You don't have to pick from this list. You can use what you already put down,
Yeah, you can use a
or do
combination,
something
right?
completely different.
Yeah. You may have had something else come to mind as you were going through the
I
exercise.
think that in hotel app is a good one, right? Your own kind of on your fingertips, right?
The exercise is, what does it do?
Yeah. So it's maintaining constant engagement. Like some people use WhatsApp group. Like in one hotel, they give me a WhatsApp number, right? Contact for anything and anything. You don't have to. Yeah.
So use that as a customer service.
They don't have an app
Yeah,
for their
right.
hotel, but they have like definitely a WhatsApp that they
yeah.
create. So basically,
When you check in, you can go. You can
in-house
communicate with
guest active communication and responsiveness mechanism, right? That to just show you're responsive to whatever they need, whatever requirements, right?
So, and what else needs to be part of that?
And that could be part of the, it could also be used for upselling, cross-selling, right? It could be in-app proactive messages if there is a particular promotion that's taking place or something exciting happening in the hotel, right?
That's all in the thing.
But again, it will really vary by the nature of hotel, right? The type of customers that you're engaging with. So it's not necessarily apply to an EBIS. It may apply to a Four Seasons, but may not apply to an EBIS, right? Or it may apply to an EBIS for other aspects.
Yeah.
So I think that is an important technology that in-house communication, how do you simplify, how do you make it more accessible? How do you make it more responsive? I have a problem in my shower. I just pick up the app and I have a problem with the shower, right? And someone is there to respond to it and say, yeah, we are on our way. Fix it, right? Rather than pick up the phone, wait for a reception to answer, then they say, okay, let me transfer you to our maintenance or whatever, right? Things like that. So it's all kind of integrated, right? So this in-house communication is kind of integrated into their workflow management system like HotSauce, which automatically generates and
Oh no! Just one more minute. We were listening. Yeah.
Oh,
No, Panine was giving us a lecture on. No, no. No, we
I
didn't
just
get
said
quiet.
perfect, Schaetz.
We're on our journey towards it.
yeah.
No, so go. I think because that's our stay.
And they're starting.
Oh, they're starting. That's right.
No, you're starting this time.
Oh, we're going the other way around? Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense to do.
Solution, and you just said for find. What do you think you need? Why is it important?
I think that's something that you just mentioned, know your customer, who you are dealing with. This is where demand intelligence and market analytics tools work for us as a revenue managers.
Yep.
To know what to offer, when to offer, who you offer, and how you offer. This is very important to go through all these details and understand who you're dealing with.
Great. And is it only important for revenue management or for other departments as well, you think, that insight?
Actually, every department, especially all those who bring customers to the hotel, even general manager, when he go and meet the partners, or sales and marketing, to know which audience we are targeting.
Yeah.
Do not waste our resources if this is really not our customer and we cannot satisfy them. Just really spend on somebody who can bring revenue and profit
All right.
to your hotel.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you very much. All right. Crystal, are you doing?
I'm I'm doing yes. I'm doing they actually defined in the book, and we have something for both of that. Speaking from my personal experience, when I look for hotel in the new destinations, I still go if I don't stay at the brand because of the loyalty, and if I go to a place like Booking.com or TripAdvisor, usually what I look at is really the reviews. And now I have the two. I'm wearing two hats. One is the guest, and one is the tech provider. We work with the hotels, right? And many hotels actually don't really take that seriously in terms of the reputation, and it's super important at the find stage. So I definitely, if there's one solution, it's so easy for the hotel to do. Really get on your reputation games to get all the positive review, even the negative review. They should take that as an opportunity to address, and that they build the credibility. So the review at the inspiration stage is very important. And then when you go into the book stage, where now everyone is talking about, I want to win the direct booking, but they don't do anything from the moment customer go into the brand.com website. So one of the easiest solutions that you can do is either you have a chatbot system in that, leverage it, train it so it is really intelligent. And then also they have this messaging platform where you can kind of communicate with the guest, right? Based on the behavior and the data that you get it from the brand website. That's what helped them to win with the booking direct games. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're calling a penalty. They erred into stay.
Sorry?
They erred into stay.
Well, but this is the fine line, right?
You just sound a little jealous.
This final push from stay into book,
Yes,
it's a fine line, right?
It's an overlap.
And this is where you need some tools to actually pull the guest in, right? And that's actually a solution that should work, could work, right?
Yes.
Anyway, gentlemen.
In-house marketing. So what is in-house marketing? So from the time the customer arrives at the hotel, there is an in-house application, which could be an app or a plethora of apps writing into one app. So for example, let's assume that you check into Puneet Hotel, which is a luxury hotel, right?
Of course it's a luxury hotel.
Not economic. No.
Yeah, not economy, not budget, not hostel. Okay. And you get an app, right? Or even a simple WhatsApp group access, right? That you can scan and say, okay, this is your WhatsApp group access. It's convenient, but the technology sitting behind is that it's communicative. Now, what are the opportunities with this? One is for the hotel to cross-sell services within the hotel, which could be food and beverage, spa, could be something, an event happening in the hotel, right? A guest engagement, GM's cocktails, things like that to keep you updated. The second is for you to engage. My shower head is not working, sure, right? That is the second level of engagement. And the third is to also give you security and safety, that even if you're going out or somewhere you get stuck, you can message on that app and someone is going to be providing you support, SOS, etc., right? So those are the three mechanisms. Now, sitting behind this, what's powering that could be an AI chatbot, which actually is responding to a lot of requests, or sending automation, marketing automation sitting behind it. You could also have your workflow management system sitting behind it, that the moment you say, I've got a problem with my engineering, the chatbot automatically interacts with you, say, we got you, and it opens a ticket in the workflow management. I'm not talking like fiction, it's really available, right? So I think that from a stay perspective, to enhance your stay, the other day I was talking to a luxury hotel GM, and he said problems happen in every hotel. It's the beauty at which you can resolve, the speed at which you can resolve the problem in the hotels, and the guests will go back and still give you a 5-star because you were able to address it during their stay. What is the point if the customer leaves the hotel, then leaves a feedback about how shitty his experience was, and it's too late to do anything.
Exactly.
So this is a proactive measure that during your stay, how do we, and you choose, the customer chooses the nature of communication, whether they want an app, they just want to use WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, whatever tool. And there are these varieties that are available of communication that plug into these systems and technologies that kind of bring it all together, right? As far as grow.
One second, I want to pause. So some of the areas drive a direct revenue, right? Upsell, cross-sell, yada, yada, yada. These service elements, just think, let's just talk commercially. Do they drive a revenue element?
They drive profitability for sure, because they're going to also lead into grow. Because
Exactly.
the person's had a great
Right.
experience, going to leave a great review,
Yeah.
could rub off on 10 others, or could be a repeat clientele
Yeah.
to your business, because
Yeah.
they thought, I've got a funny story to tell you. Heather would laugh about this. There's a friend of mine, travels a lot to Bangkok. That time, the Four Seasons Bangkok, now Anantara, right? Used to have these beautiful lamps. So once he left a comment that I love this lamp. And any room he stayed in, that bloody lamp followed him. So one day he asked, he said, do you have the same lamps in every room? Because I went to my friend's room and that doesn't have the same lamp. He said, no, sir, but you have a preference for the lamp, so we put the lamp wherever you stay.
That's great. But the point is guest satisfaction
Yeah.
drives revenue.
And it's also feeding
Right.
into your CRM, right? So
Yeah.
you're capturing all these preferences. So you're
Yeah.
getting a little bit about
Yeah.
the behavior. So for example, 10 people are complaining about the quality of your pillows. Then you go to the owner and say, hey, listen, we need to change the damn pillows because
Yeah.
there's a problem
Yeah.
with the pillows. There are 10 people. So it's also giving you prioritization for capital reinvestment, for upgradations to your, or soft touches that you can make that has huge
Yeah.
impact. Right?
Brilliant. All right.
Can I add on to that, just on the stay? For me, we all stay at a lot of hotels. I still can't believe that mobile check-in, check-out is not number one. Because when you turn up to a hotel, I'm staying in...
It's not in any order.
Yeah, oh, right. No, I'm not saying it should be in order, but yes, the communication app and everything, but that check-in experience is becoming, to the business traveler, is such a key part of that satisfaction with a hotel,
Are you
right?
referring that it's still horrific?
But you don't want to go to a Soneva Fushi and you want to do a mobile check-in.
No, that's
No,
true.
you want the option
but,
of that, though. No, because we had this discussion
but
last, I think it
what
was
drives
last
me
year.
nuts is when I do a mobile
Yes.
check-in and I come to the hotel and I have to go through the same procedure again.
Yes.
Why is that?
Yeah, correct.
It's like
correct.
the web check-in at the hotel. I'm an Indian passport holder. The bloody hell, I still have to present my documents.
Yeah,
So why do
yeah.
a web check?
Yeah, why, yeah.
No, I know. Then don't offer it, right? Because it's counterproductive.
No, it was the last time I was in Singapore, I stayed at Yotel and it took me 10 seconds to check in. Literally put my passport down, the key got put in, and I was off. But I
Great.
go stay at a Four Seasons in Bangkok or something. It takes 25 minutes. So I still don't understand why that can't go quicker.
Well,
but
Okay, let's move on. So grow. No, but great question, Glenn. Oh, this was part of grow. Okay, good, got it, fantastic. So this again, but it hangs together, right? Is really so important. Okay, so look, I will hand out to those that attended the workshop a little cheat sheet afterwards. Is that recorded? To those who attended the workshop. So, no, look, I just put something together, right, that gives a bit more relevance. And yeah, again, reminder, tech is not a stack. It is a bridge, and we have to reframe our thinking around it, right? We can't just look at it as tools and isolations any longer, and I go just from one tick, tick, tick. It's not a tick box, right? It's how is it interwoven? How does it communicate with each other? How does it wrap around that guest journey? That's really what we are after, right? So therefore, how is it connected to this guest journey? Very important. So thank you very much. I know this were a very small group, but I appreciate your attendance. All right.